In what I guess would be described as unconfirmed news, not necessarily fake news, so to speak, Damon Martin of Fox Sports, obviously Fox is the TV network that's got the UFC deal right now, had reported that TUF 26, which would be the next series of The Ultimate Fighter, will feature women's flyweights, and it'll be run pretty similar to the 115 division, in that the winner of that tournament will end up being the new women's flyweight champion at 125. Now, after that it was announced, Ariel Helwani, looking to confirm it, ended up reporting that the UFC, they didn't necessarily say no, it's not happening, so much as they said hold the phone on that or pump the brakes on it. So it sounds as though if it hasn't been made official yet, that's what's at least in the works, which is very exciting. I feel like this is long overdue. I've been talking about this for a while, and Dana White, every time that he'd been publicly asked, would say, no, we're not looking to do this, we're not interested. But as I mentioned in the past, and as I'll say again, we're looking at WME IMG, who is making the 45 belt, who's been throwing around interim titles like crazy. The idea of there not being a flyweight division, a women's flyweight division in the first place, is pretty ridiculous to begin with. But for there not to be a women's flyweight division in a company that is throwing around interim titles like crazy and is creating a division at 45 where there's practically no division to be had, it only made sense that the 25 division was going to be made. And it sounds like, if it isn't quite official yet, it's pretty deep in consideration. It looks like they're about to do it. I guess the trouble that I would see in this is that, at least with the first time around at 115, what made the most sense there is that there wasn't a division at 115. There weren't any girls at 135 who were going to make 115 and who were likely going to be in the title picture, so you can kind of start fresh there and really build out your division. But at this point with 125, you have some girls who are at 115 who are really cutting down hard to make 115 and would like to move up, kind of like Joanna Jędrzejczyk, for example, the champion. You have some girls at 135 who can't make 115, and so they're fighting at 135 instead, like the challenger right now, Valentina Shevchenko. And you kind of feel like either of those two, in all likelihood, would be the champion at the weight class. Now, granted, Joanna Jędrzejczyk wasn't a part of the initial Ultimate Fighter, as far as it got the victory, and very quickly after lost the belt, and now Joanna is kind of synonymous as the UFC's one strawweight champion, even though Carlos Esparza did hold it for a short period of time. But you feel like there's a chance that could happen again, and funny enough, Joanna could be the one again to take the title away from the Ultimate Fighter winner and hold on to it for a bit. Now, again, as I mentioned in the preview for this fight with Andrade, I feel like Joanna's kind of regressing a little bit at this point, but either way, you get the point in that there were some very good fighters who probably shouldn't have to be on a series of the Ultimate Fighter, especially if you imagine Valentina Shevchenko going down to 125. If she beats Amanda Nunes, and all of a sudden you either have to put her back into the Ultimate Fighter, or maybe that's what the holdup is. Maybe they're planning on doing the show at 125. They haven't quite decided what they're going to do with it, but maybe if Valentina Shevchenko gets the win and makes it clear that she wants to go down to 25, maybe then the winner earns a title shot instead of earning the title itself. But either way, it's good to see that the UFC is at least making a lot of ground towards getting the 125 division off the ground. It'll be very interesting to see which 35ers drop down and which 15-pounders move up. But either way, this seems like it's going to be a division that's going to be very interesting right off the bat, as opposed to the 145 division, which just disappeared ever since that Brooklyn card.